when you're done?
Live streaming.
Is it?
Oh,
Is it?
you mean how do you play? That's your question.
Oh, so the next step is to play.
Yeah. The next step is
Okay.
getting a board set up so we can actually play with the cards. But we got to get enough cards to get the board set up. So
Yeah. Generate a deck. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll need like 50 to 60 cards before we can start making the board so the deck will work and stuff.
Heck yeah. Well, okay, so we're here live now, and that's cool. I think that's a good thing to start off with because we kind of mentioned NTFs, but there's like this interesting use case, Mindsgaming's card. I think that it's like kind of like the right time and like interesting thing to like play with and see how we could have fun with this little card game.
Yeah, man. Yeah. We could definitely talk about the card game. That sounds fun.
That sounds interesting.
So we have PA Junior, Khaliq. He's a poet and he's from the open mic days. But have you seen what Mindsgaming's post in our? Are you part of the NTF group? Khaliq, you should be in there.
No, not yet. I'm definitely gonna check that out soon. Yeah, man, I've definitely been trying to be more active on the community. So yeah, you'll see me there for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you got to stop by for sure, dude.
For sure, man.
Do you make NTFs?
So NTFs.
NFT, sorry.
I'm like, hold on, is that NFT? Not yet, but I got a bunch of like videos queued up, and I've been hearing the buzzwords, so I'm looking to get into it. You guys, that's what you guys been doing? You guys into that?
Yeah. Well, we just started getting into them, and so we're trying to get them onto Minds, and so we're trying to get a system set up so they import. What we're using right now is an open source software called OpenSea, so they can import that over into the Mind system, and we can have it on Mind. So we could actually like sell and trade them on Minds.
That's what's up.
Yeah, and I was checking out. I was exploring my profile on OpenSea and changing some things around, and then I noticed that you can import different tokens that you accept for sale or whatever in your collections or whatever. And then I saw the forum to import. So potentially, we could import the Minds token. And so then,
yeah. Send me that forum over to me because
okay.
I'll look into that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So like the next step is not that far away for us. Like that's the cool thing right now of what's going on with Minds and the position that we're in. The Minds token actually is like worth something. So then that like opens up the potential for us to like buy stuff with this. You know what I mean? Like, so like if OpenSea accepts Minds token, or like we could import that because it's within the whole system. And then now you can buy things with your Minds tokens outside of Minds, which is cool.
Yeah, man, that's Minds is definitely doing some great stuff. And it's no wonder like around this time, I'm like, you know what? I got to jump back in here. It seems like a lot is going on. And I kind of got homesick for a little bit. That's why you see me a little bit more. It's funny, like Mac and myself kind of came back at the same time. Like, we were both on this long hiatus. And then Satori, obviously, you were calling me back. You were summoning me. And you probably did the same for Mac. And yeah, I'm actually really, really happy to be here. Thanks guys for having me on, by the way. This is I like the way the conversation's already going because I love the opportunities, open source, and the fact that the art community can finally have some handles.
Yeah, man. I mean, everything that I try to do is always on like open source software, so other people can use it and everything. So
right on, nice.
Yeah.
And see, even the thing that we're using right now, Jitsi, this was like something that like I think the community kind of pushed and brought to the attention of Minds, and now like it's embedded in Minds, and that's like the same type of thing that we're talking about sees like if we could just get it like imported into Minds. So then that's the thing. What's cool about, because Uniswap was always there, but now that it's like integrated within Minds, that like you don't have to like really leave Minds. You can do everything from Minds and do this and go there and interact. But your home base will be Minds, and you could be able to start really doing cool things. Like this is something that I just want to bring up because as we move forward with what's going on with the Mind system and what I think is so exciting and so important about anybody using Minds or anybody interested in creating things and probably having more autonomy and doing different things like this is what Minds and cryptocurrency and the NFTs, non-fungible tokens, can do is give us more tools so that when we develop these communities and we develop our projects. I like what Mac came up with when Mac was on here actually talking PA. Mac said, these things can be engines for social projects. And what he meant by social project could be a podcast, could be your book, it could be a movie, it could be your blog or whatever. Those social projects, you need to build a community that supports you. And then the NFT system makes it better in the sense that you could, as you going along, and just actually as I produce work for promoting the show, or even when I do the edits, there's all this artwork that I do. And actually I wanted to post this animated GIF, and it didn't load. And then I have a bigger one, and then I'm like, I'm just going to put it on OpenSea. And I never actually did the original one that I wanted to post on Minds, and it just happened that way. And so like that one is only like available on OpenSea, and like that's the only one that's ever going to be on there. But like different things like that, like as we develop our whatever it is, our artwork, our podcasts, our groups or whatever, and there's like special inside jokes, there's special things that like happen, and then you could capture that and like say, hey, this is like a rare thing. Like I talk about Curry Hobo because Curry Hobo, when he does the Pulling the Cosmic Trigger shows, he does artwork as we're doing the podcast, and like that's like a unique thing. Cool. And like later on, that, and when you're saying about being nostalgic, like I do that too. Like I have old from 2016 Minds like meme work that like like these really crude artwork that people were doing back then. That was fun.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that definitely nostalgia, man. It's funny, we were both uploading Future Human stuff. So when you posted that Future Humans song, I was like, holy shit, because I was just working on putting the actual like dialogue and then Future Humans version of my poem together. When you posted that, I was like, holy shit, we're both like trying to summon up Future, which would be cool, man, to see him back. Have you guys seen him on the platform? He's been gone, right?
He's been gone.
Jeez,
I know he was like going back to school, and like so I hopefully he comes back around. But I think because there was a good weird energy in that time of open mic, and which was funny is because the same energy, because there was a new feature on Minds, which was gatherings, and that's what made us start doing open mic. And in the same way, this new system is bringing it some new energy as well, and I think it can help maybe make it a little bit more sustainable. I was reading this article, and it was about NFTs, and one guy was saying, after like the hype of like, it's kind of like this hype and trendiness of, different articles, people writing about it. But he says he hopes what that happens, it creates ecosystems, meaning like people build apps on top of it and use the system as a way to help fund, artists and different communities doing their own thing. So, like I'm hoping, in a year or so, I could start working on this documentary / movie called The Minds Underground, and it's about what I say is the creative underground of Minds. But I could use what we're getting with the Minds token, with the liquidity pools, and all these systems, and along the way create the artwork and store it in the NFT. And then later, when I'm like trying to fundraise for a new camera or fundraise so I could go and go to New York or whatever, like I have stuff to like sell that are, you know, that are rare and like you can't get anywhere else. And like that's what the you know, what signing autographs and having limited editions was, you know, pre digital age. That's what the NFTs are going to be. You know,
bring it back.
Oh yeah. I mean, you'll be able to like display them on your you know, the site soon and stuff like that. Like you can already do that pretty much. But I was just reading a post by who posted that? I think Rodfather posted it. But it was about a jeweler that made jewelry that shows your NFT. Like you can wear it around your neck and like it projects an NFT token that you want.
That's
that's
crazy.
Wild. Oh shit.
Yeah, but you know,
Blade Runner.
Yeah, but you know, going on what you were saying on Mindsgaming is, you know, as we do this, and I'm sure, you know, I was actually talking to some guy. He reached out to me, and he's building an NFT like display system, I guess. So like you could, I guess, in your website start displaying them nicely or whatever. But this goes into when I was talking about having a virtual art gallery. So then you like display your NFTs there, and then like say, you know, we have a feature artist in our gallery, and then, you know, you virtually in VR space click on the wall painting and it pops up and it tells you, you know, the history of this artwork and this is why it's rare, and, you know, blah 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 whatever, and then how much it costs, and then you could just like click on that and then, you know, seamlessly transfer the money, and then now you own that artwork. You know what I mean? Like
there's so much potential. It's unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. I'm really thrilled to be, you know, around this culture and this type of platform and just alive at this time. I mean, we're definitely getting a lot of autonomy and freedom back, and there's always a silver lining to all these things that happen, right? And it seems like we can design the new, you know, age, so to speak. Like when you mentioned the whole virtual thing, like I was really triggered by it because VR is just like really strange to me. But at the same time, I remember I was talking to one of my homies and I was like, you know what? I'd rather be a part of the group that is going to build the VR experience that I would like to see in the world, rather than have the elites build this fucking, you know, Ready Player One or whatever the hell it is type of situation. I'd rather be with the dudes that are creating the type of experience that I want to see in the world. And
okay.
I'm signing on for that. You feel me?
Okay. You know, this is how actually me and Mindsgaming teamed up. So like we had a show, and then I go, and actually that show never really recorded that part when I go all crazy talking about, like, you know, and I basically say something like this, like VR is coming, like, you know, fucking Facebook and Google, they're doing it, like there's no stopping it. So it's either you're gonna live in this like VR or an AR space of Google, Facebook, or you're gonna be fucking around with it. So you're either gonna be programmed by them, or you're gonna be programming it, or you're gonna hack with it, you're gonna play with it, you're gonna fuck with it. So you're gonna understand it, and you're gonna be able to express yourself, because that's gonna be the new medium. And you're gonna have to understand like how they're gonna use it and how they program it. And as you know, it kind of goes back to program or reprogram. And then so Mindsgaming was like, and he looked into it, and you know, within a couple of weeks, he had a nice little framework of VR space that we have. And you know, it takes a long time to like build this out, but it's there. Like these tools that, you know, stealing fire from the gods. You know, that's what we're doing
like
here. It's because like these tools used to be only for like the elite, like these financial tools, these technological tools. Now it's hard, but you could steal it. You could steal fire from the gods. Like Mindsgaming stole, not really stole, but worked on top of building a VR set. That seems out of bounds, but it's not. It's like within bounds. Like having a liquidity pool and forming your own like mini individual hedge fund, which I'm doing on my back end. Like that used to be something only for people on like Wall Street, but no, like I'm doing it right now. You know what I mean? Like we're doing this stuff, and we're building on top of that. So it's interesting to be here in this space.
Yeah, that VR space. Yeah, you sent me the link, and I checked it out, man. That shit is far out, man. It's really dope. It's really amazing, and I'm really interested to merge some of the communities that I've been in. Kind of building up a culture of art and like bringing them to inside of this Minds community, because I haven't been around many places, but I haven't found anything like Minds. It's just like nothing. There's nothing that emulates this place, and I think it's a good place to build culture and community and friendships and things of that nature, collaborations. I think it's a fantastic place, and that's why I was never able to completely like get away from this place. Like I'll take my little hiatuses, but I'll always come back to Minds. It's like SatoriD or the community keeps whispering back to me, and I'm like, okay, it's time to go back home.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. For myself, I like this story of like, I've had my times where I won't post in or not really on Minds. It's either just whatever, my own life, or I don't like what's going on around, or like, I'm not getting inspired about like the Minds community in a sense. And I was like posting on different sites. I was doing Steam and Hive and doing that stuff. And then there was like these contests of like prompts for poetry. And then we had this group, and I was like in the Discord, and it was cool. And then like we had this competition, and then it was fun. And like I said, hey, I do video editing. I could like edit people's poems, and we can make like this mix up match tape. And then so I started doing it with the people there on Steam it. And then I think, dude, I should do it with the people on Minds. And so like I reach out to you, and I reach out to Rose, and I reach out to a couple other people that I know that write poetry on Minds. And so like at the same time, I'm doing this collaboration on Minds, and I'm doing this collaboration on Steam it. And so I do both mixtapes, and there's two different versions. There's Steam it version and there's the Minds version. And
oh shit!
Like that contrast between like my experience of like they're like there was nothing wrong with them, like they're cool and everything, but like the depth and like dynamic of like the poetry and of Minds was like I had more fun doing it, and like I was like, oh, that's like more my like cup of tea than like no offense to them, but the people on like the people writing poetry and Steam it,
So we're talking about like 2015 now, right? Because I jumped on Minds, and somehow you just, I don't know, like you just reached out to me like early on, like I was just on the platform very early.
Oh yeah.
Like I just jumped on the platform not long like after you hit me up,
Well,
like
because from what I remember is that. I was doing something. I posted something on my YouTube, and you're like one of the only ones that like comment. And so then I went and like I looked at your YouTube, and then you're doing some poetry. And like at this time, I was like thinking about like doing more poetry. And then I like reached out to you. I'm like, hey, like keep up doing your stuff. It was cool to see you do like spoken word.
Bring me back, yeah.
And then I was like, okay, whatever. And then so I always had that in the back of my head, like I was like, okay, if I ever because I've always like I have ideas, like I'm like, oh, it'd be cool if like we do this mixtape and like have different people submit poetry to it. And I was just like, so when I was ready to do it, that's why I reached out to you. Did, that was the Dead Spoken Word mixtape, which is is pretty awesome.
Yeah. So when did you jump on Minds, by the way? Because my birthday is I forget the month, but it's 2015. I'd like to know about you too, King.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine is actually on my real birthday, July the 1st is my real birthday. But mine's birthday is the 2015 July the 1st.
Oh, shit.
What is yours, Mine's Gaming? Because you have a 2015 one too.
For this account or like the first time I joined?
Yeah, the first time.
I joined in 2015. It was like in April sometime.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
so yeah,
Well,
Mine's Gaming.
2015. Okay.
You know, Corey's I think is around April too. Like Corey's one of the oldest counts that I know of.
Yeah.
Corey. Who Corey?
Yeah,
Corey.
Sofuego.
I know that.
Oh.
What were you gonna say?
I said he was here before me. I know that. He was like one of the first people that I saw in the Boost feeds.
Yeah. And me too, I think. And that was funny. Like early Minds then was just like what was like just like a Facebook group. Like there's like it was so little.
Yeah.
And that was cool. That was a cool thing because like if you posted, like everybody saw it. Like whatever you posted, you know. Yeah, that was the cool thing about early Minds.
Valid.
You know, okay, so this is kind of funny, Minds Gaming.
What's up, bro?
That's what I didn't know. Is like you started this card game early on. When was the first time you did your first card of this Minds card game?
4 years ago.
4 years ago?
Yeah. So yeah, I actually had this idea for the Minds card game when I first joined, and I wanted to do it. There wasn't enough. I don't know. There wasn't a space to really do it, and there wasn't enough interest in it, and there weren't that many people online then. But I still made some fun cards with a Magic designer and stuff for the basic like what I wanted to do. And then so yeah, it was fun. That was fun. Those are just fun cards. Like I think there's like a Mind Santa. There's like a New Year's card.
I saw the Mind Santa. Yeah.
So what do you guys? What is this card thing about? I don't know if I've seen it.
It's a card game. It's called the Minds card game. And so you collect subs pretty much. So your subs become playing cards, and your subs views are going to be worth their defense, and then your subs are going to be worth their attack. And then it's kind of played like Magic, where you have it set out, and then you attack, and you can equip abilities to your subs and stuff like that. So,
yeah, that sounds like some what is that? A dungeon? What's the name of that game? I don't remember. Stranger Things game.
I like comparing it to Magic the Gathering, because that was my game when I was growing up. So that's what I'm basing it off of, and that's where a lot of the ability ideas come from and all that. So
yeah, I didn't play many card games besides like Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon and stuff. So
I mean Pokemon, it's similar to Pokemon. You got to catch them all. You got to catch all your subs, man.
No, but. That's what I was thinking is like, okay, so you're building up your deck, but the way you make your card better is if you build up your followers channel.
Right. So like the more subs you have, the chances are you have better cards, or you can collect, because any sub you have can become one of your cards that you can play with. So the more subs you have, better cards you have probably. But we're also making like community cards, so like the cards that we capture, we might put them up for community cards so you can use those and play with those. And we're making equipments too, so you can like attach things to your cards to make them more powerful, or you can attach things to other people's cards to stop them from attacking or blocking and stuff like that. So
yeah, that was kind of interesting. I was talking to and one of the artists that was submitted some stuff to the Minds token, like little contest. Anyways, I was talking to her. She knows Mac, but and there was like this joke that happened in one of the threads about like some crypto otter, and then like so I was talking to her about like getting her on the show, and then like just at this time I was having that joke happened, and then I told her, hey, you should like design a crypto otter, and then you started posting your whole thing about your deck, and then I was like, oh, that'll be cool. That'll be like a special like a card, wait, what was it like? She has these two actual things that one she submitted. It was like Minds to the Moon, and it was like this like 8-bit kind of like Zelda-ish character with coins going up. And then there's another one with Sunrise, and I was like, oh, it'll be kind of like interesting if you have like a card that like could like raise a card from the dead or whatever, like as a Sunrise or whatever. And so like that card, you know what I mean? Like design different cards like that give you different abilities.
Yeah. We're gonna make a bunch of different ones. So there'll be a bunch of community cards that you can get. And then of course you can always make cards from your subs. We made a card creator to make your cards if you want, or you can make your own cards and design your own thing as long as it matches up with the subs and views for your attack and defense. So
I like that Illuminati card game. You guys ever seen that?
Yeah.
One that looked like a Pokemon or something.
That was one of my test cards, was with the eye in the back. So.
Oh shit! Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see where you're coming from now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got another like conspiracy board game.
But yeah, you can add your own, like in the card creator, you can add your own backgrounds. You can add your user's avatar, and then we don't have like a save button, but you can just take a little screenshot of it, and it's easy.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it's fun, man.
That's culture, man.
Yeah, man.
It's gonna be like a baseball card. Like one day I'm gonna come to game. I'm gonna come to Mindsgaming.
Yeah. I already ordered my first pack. So.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So all the cards that I've made, I ordered. So I'll have all the collector cards that I made. So
nice. That's cool, and that's an NFT right there. What it sounds like to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We made. They're all. We're making them all of them NFTs. So. Yeah, they're all be NFTs. All the ones we're making are. I mean, if you make your own cards, you don't have to make them one, but
Yeah, but that's the thing as someone who does like say, artwork and design work, like Curry Hobo or the one channel that I was talking to. There's a bunch of different artists, and they can make their own unique version of these cards and make their own NFTs, and like if that becomes something like within their community, then like later that becomes valuable or whatever. It just becomes unique. It's a way to make your own stuff.
You can make your complete own design. Like if you take a look at the rule book, it'll have like the layout for how much mana your sub should cost, how much defense your subs should have, how much attack your sub should have, and all that. Like it has all that laid out, so you can make your own complete design for your card and still play the game with it.
That sounds like memorabilia to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it's gonna be fun. I'm trying to get a board created for it next. That's my next step now that I have the card creator. And then, but yeah, I've been looking at a bunch of board software to design your own boards for card games, and like so far, like all the ones that I've seen, you have to have a numerous amount of cards to input into the form to work. So. We're gonna see. We got to get at least 50 to 60 cards before we can make one work. So
let's start generating some cards, huh?
Yeah. So we'll be making more cards, but we'll probably take a little break now that we have the card designer out and get our episodes out, which we have. We already did make them. We just got to get them published. So.
Oh, okay, cool,
sweet.
So. Khaliq, since you've been back and wanting to use Minds more, since you have me and Mindsgaming here, is there anything you want to know about Minds or curious about us, either about Minds or anything like that? Questions.
So much. Yeah, you've already been like sending me a bunch of stuff, and I've been catching up to some of the Mindsgaming episodes. Yeah, honestly, a lot of this stuff, like all this Uniswap and this gas stuff, everything that's going on, like it's all gibberish to me. Like I still have to do a lot more diving in to understand what the whole landscape is now. But maybe if you guys could, I don't know, explain that again. Yeah, I'm down with that.
I could probably explain it in an easy way. Now, to use it, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, and that's something you're going to have to do with practice. But for instance, this is the possibility of what we have here. So, there's a ongoing expense for my creative endeavors, and that's this ongoing cost is I like to have weed when I create and do video edit. So it's an ongoing cost that I have. So today, the money that I spent.
Spend way too much money on that.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Well, yeah, but what I used to buy my weed today was from my crypto, and so what one would do is build up enough Minds tokens. You put that on your wallet, and then you convert that into Ethereum.
Mhm.
Then you get that Ethereum, and you'll have different apps. One that I use is called Rocket Coin, and there's an ATM machine down the street from my house, and you can walk there. And I go and I use this ATM machine, and I take out the money that I need to go and buy my weed, and that's how one would do it from their Minds tokens.
Nice.
Yeah,
Sponsored by Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah, and we're looking for sponsorships. Anybody wants to sponsor us?
So,
Word up.
yeah. Sponsorships. Yeah, if you want to hit me up, if you want
green friendly.
sponsor a show, man.
Is this a good? Is this a good
420
time?
friendly.
Is this a good time to Is this a good time to talk about gas?
Yeah.
Gas fees or like the cost of gas in the car?
The gas fees. I thought gas was a fitting segue since we're talking about.
But that's the thing is, okay, to do it, as I said, the hard part is that you're gonna need a good amount of Ethereum because each move costs a gas fee and transaction, so you're taking cuts. But what's the good thing is if you have liquidity, you get portions of that cut. So it's in the long run, it's not that bad. And
Yeah.
and
So you're saying
So I like to explain it so that think of your tokens as a gaming point, right? So think of it as a game, and every token you collect is a gaming point. All right. And you can use these tokens inside the game to buy stuff, and you can buy memberships. You can unlock posts, and you can do all kinds of stuff inside the network. And you can just use it inside the network if you want as a game token. You can also cash out your game token, unlike other games. To do that, it takes a little more skill. You got to have your crypto wallet set up, and you got to have Ethereum in your wallet. Right now, like the gas fee to transfer out of the game is a little up there, but there's also like a little bug in the system where it shows a ridiculous gas fee if you don't have enough Ethereum to pay the gas fee. So it's a weird bug, but like say your gas fee should be $8 and you only have $7 Ethereum, will show a ridiculous amount of Ethereum to pay to pay, and it's like, oh, I'll never have that amount. Well, really, it's only like $1 more, but but anyways, yeah, there's that bug, so that's annoying. But it shouldn't be a problem if you have like 30-40 bucks in your Ethereum wallet. And so once you put it once you take it out of the game into your wallet, you can do pretty much whatever you want with it on the block. You can trade it in for ETH, which then you can convert into cash, or you can trade it in for Bitcoins, or you can swap it with other users, or you can use it, hopefully you can use it to buy, stuff from the token department there.
And see that would be the added benefit for directly accepting the Minds token versus something else. So that person on the other end doesn't have to like convert it into Ethereum, and so it saves them.
Yeah. I really want to see them create an API where you can accept the token on your website for the for the Minds token. So like people can just pay for stuff through the API with the Minds token. That'd be really interesting.
Yeah, I mean that'll drive up the notoriety of the token and be good for everybody on the platform.
Yeah.
You hear that? You hear that, Bill?
yeah. If they make an API where you can, pay for stuff with the Minds tokens on other websites. Like I could put it on the Imaginarium cloud, or I could put it on my website, or the Open Seas could use it on theirs, or whoever could use it on their website to transfer Minds tokens to each other. Then it would expand the market tenfold. So
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. No, that makes sense. Okay, so I'm starting to get a little bit more understanding. I think what it is I just haven't messed around with it yet.
yeah.
So I mean, I'm familiar. I have a wallet and all these types of things, and I have
I mean,
crypto.
it's just playing with stuff. Unfortunately, like unlike other things, I always tell everybody you're never gonna break anything. With Ether, you might break something. You
Yeah.
might lose some money. You might lose some tokens. You might you might get pissed off. So
Oh yeah.
it's not just clicking things and seeing how they work in there.
Okay. So
User beware.
yeah, and so what I said about getting the money to buy for my weed, I made it sound easy, but like it was a whole project to do that, But what Mindsgaming was saying is like, that's why you have to be careful because like they there was a joke that I had with Corey, and he said something about we're talking about. It was the whole Otman thing about the smallest denomination of a Minds token, and Corey said something about Akana, and I said, oh, Akana would be like if you have Minds tokens in a wallet that you lost the password to. That means you got Akana.
Yes, that is great. I love it. I love that.
You're never gonna like. I have 50 Minds tokens on a MetaMask wallet that I don't have anymore.
Yeah. I created when the system first came out. I created a test wallet just to play with it.
Yeah, me too.
And I put Minds tokens in that, and that paraphrase just floating around the internet, so anybody can steal that wallet, and just everybody can just keep stealing that wallet.
Yeah, so when that happens, you gotta comment. You're never, but that's what's gonna happen. Like that's the other thing that people are gonna learn as we move forward, and everybody learns the hard way. There's gonna be times where you're gonna, lose your wallet, and that's it. Those tokens are gone.
That's
sorry.
Funny. That reminds me. So I host this show once a month. It's called Renaissance Revolution. But on the show, I had this. So Tim Dillon, this comedian dude. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with him. He had like a parody. What do you call those? It was like a parody for a movie, movie trailer. There it is. He had a parody for a movie trailer, and it's called Wallet. He does this whole parody about like, some kids, this guy, their father passed away and he left the wallet, but they can't figure out what the passcode is. And the whole trailer is just them trying to figure out like, dude, what the fuck? Like, we hate you. We can't figure out the passcode. I gotta send that to you guys. You guys are gonna fucking love that. It's hilarious. And it really feels like a legit like trailer, and it's just hilarious. And Tim Dillon is really he's a really funny comedian. So I'm gonna send that your way.
It makes you wonder what we're gonna do in like 20 years with all these assets to pass them down. Like
that's exactly the point. The whole point was that was like, these are the kids, and they're like, fuck man, he never left us the appropriate way for us to figure out how to get this money out. And they're just clowning everything. They're like getting Elon Musk's name wrong. Like he's like they're like, so in the skit they're like, he's saying Elon Musk created Bitcoin. No, he said Elon something. He's like, who's this guy? He's an astronaut. And they just keep talking. It's like hilarious. Fucking funny shit.
Oh yeah. I gotta check that out, definitely.
Oh, I'm gonna send it to you guys. Don't worry about that. I got you.
You play you get into any games? You play any games?
I haven't played games in a while, but speaking about nostalgia, like I fucking loved Dreamcast. The Dreamcast was like it for me. Freaking when I was in my prime time gaming.
What games do you remember from Dreamcast?
Oh man, Soul Calibur, Crazy Taxi. Was Jet Grind Radio on Dreamcast? Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Jet
Crazy
Grind Radio or Jet
Taxi.
Set Radio?
Crazy Taxi, man. No, that was a hell of a game.
Oh yeah. 2K on Dreamcast. Yeah, I fell in love with Dreamcast, dude.
I'm pretty sure GTA stole Crazy Taxi for I think it was like GTA 3.
Yeah.
Where you could become a taxi driver and then you make money that way.
I mean, that was that was the best part of, GTA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Fucking around with the radio and listening to the music on the radio and all types of shit. Yeah, man. Yeah, so I mean, besides Dreamcast, I'm big. I loved 64, Nintendo 64, Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I even love his
I haven't heard
soundscapes.
anyone mention Donkey Kong.
What?
I loved Donkey Kong.
Are you kidding me?
That's fucking.
How many episodes you guys on it? How many episodes you guys have?
Like 8.
Nobody fucking mentioned. Nobody mentioned Donkey Kong, dude. That's crazy. And just the music for Donkey Kong, dude. The soundscape is amazing.
Yeah.
Is amazing.
Since starting doing this, so we're on our 9th one. This is actually our 9th one.
Ninth. See, that's his job.
Yeah. It's this is the 9th one, and so when I do the video edit, I'm always looking for music. So I've been listening to some like Nintendo lo-fi stuff, and like, dude, that shit's dope. Like some of the Zelda stuff that they like sample is fucking awesome. I just chill and like listen to that. Like,
dude, that's what my son does. My son goes on Spotify, and he just plays different playlists for like, lo-fi Zelda games and Mega Man X and Donkey Kong, and he'd be like, "Dad, check this one out."
Every kid does that now. I don't understand it, man.
It's a thing. It's a phenomenon. I don't know.
He also watches videos where like characters will have different voices, like other characters' voices, but there'll be like whole episodes of them. Have you seen those yet?
I haven't seen that.
Like he was watching one.
It's like deep fake cartoons or what?
Yeah. Like he was watching one the other day. It was a full episode. It was a full episode of SpongeBob, but SpongeBob had Morty's voice.
What?
Yeah.
Satori's gonna buy some weed with his Mind's token and fucking check that out.
Yeah. I binge watch that shit.
And not even fucking forget like what the fuck you're watching. Like, is this what is it?
The next time he's on one, I'm gonna grab the link and send it to Satori. He'll love it.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember they used to do that. They used to do that with like rap music. They have like a country song and it would just be like trap rap music, and you see like the country people doing their little dance, and it's just like fucking like 2 Chainz in the background or some shit. I used to binge watch that shit because it's hilarious. It's like oxymoron. The music does not match.
Yeah.
So I get it. It's great stuff. Hell yeah. Fucking Doritos and weed and just sit there and laugh your fucking ass off. Hell yeah.
You're a big comedy lover? Like a comedy?
Oh yeah. I love comedy, dude. Yeah. I'm from New York, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we from the slums. We gotta laugh about shit. So
you're into stand-up then, right?
Yeah, I love stand-up, man.
I love some stand-up too, man.
Hell yeah.
Who's your favorite stand-up comic?
Shit. Hold on.
It's hard.
All right, I just finished. Yeah, there's so many, but there was a stand-up, 2 stand-ups that a friend of mine, Oscar, had recommended to me recently. Bo Hartman. That dude had like probably one of the best performances I've ever seen. If you haven't seen this dude's stand up, man, he has it on Netflix.
Okay.
Bo Hartman, fucking solid. After that, I'd probably go on like George Carlin, and there's so many. So many great stand-ups.
There's thousands of them. I mean, there are tons of good ones too. I just wanted to see. Yeah, I'll have to check.
What about you?
One of my favorite all time is Mitch Hedberg.
I never heard. So now I got it. Now my wife's gonna be happy, but we're always looking for.
He's like the king of like the one-liner thing. Right?
Yeah. Mitch
Okay.
Hedberg.
And he's funny.
He makes dad jokes funny again. I feel like.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a feat right there. If you could make dad
I
jokes
used
funny,
to
then you a
smoke
fucking man.
weed. I mean, I still do, but I used to too.
That means you're smoking weed right now. You say some shit like that, you're like,
You
yeah.
know,
His stoner persona was just perfect for the stage.
yeah. That's a good one.
What about you, Satori? Who's your favorite stand?
There's a lot, but I would have to go for Chappelle. Like,
Oh, okay.
you know, something that like formative that like shaped me was Chappelle Show. I still remember like the first time I watched it. Like, you know, there's certain things like a video game, movies, music, whatever. Like you remember when the first experience you had with it, like, you know, when you read a real good book or you listen to like your favorite band for the first time or whatever. So anyways, I go to my friend's house and I actually selling her some weed. And I go there and my friend's with me. And so we're there and she's getting ready for work. And Sheena says, "Hey, have you guys watched Chappelle's Show?" And we're like, "What? He did a new movie, and Dave Chappelle, the stand-up. Did he do a movie or something?" And she's like, "No, he has a show." And we're like, "He has a show?" And they're like, "She's like, yeah, I have it on bootleg. Like I ripped it here, the first season."
She ripped the show. That's
Yeah. We watched it on bootleg, and then so we're like, "Fuck this!" And so like she's getting ready for work, and we watched the first episode. And we're just like stuck, and we're just like laughing. We roll up blood, and we're just like having a good time. And she's like, "Oh, I'm going to work," and we're like, "Oh, we just started watching this." And then she's like, "You guys can watch it if you want." And so she leaves, and then me and my friend there, we watched like 3 more episodes, and we're like, "Dude, we got to finish watching this shit. This shit is too good." And then so like we steal it from her, and we take it back to his band. We finished watching the first season, and we're just like you know, we're just like, this is like the greatest thing we ever seen. And dude, man, those skits and like everything was amazing.
Do you think they aged well? Because I think I went back the other day to watch some of it, and I was like, oh man, it's not as funny as I remember it to be.
You know,
like there was some of them that are still good, but then there's some of them that I'm like, oh man, it didn't. Yeah, it's not really connecting.
He was very. He did a lot of stuff that was time sensitive. Like it was on the fly. Like what was in your feelings in that time frame, man. And that's what you loved about it, though. Like you had that like same feeling back then. And like I can see where you're going with where like it's out of style or it's not that funny anymore. But it's like
well, no, I'm not even going like PC. I'm just saying like maybe it was a little like not immature, but. I don't know. It seemed like it doesn't. Well, obviously, I'm different now.
Funny. You're just getting old.
Yeah, right. That's what it is. I'm like, oh yeah, that's not. No. I don't remember it being that funny. Or I remember it being funnier than this. But all time for sure, though. No, don't get me wrong.
Classic. But you know, that's one thing. What's interesting? I want to like tie this all into. To like what we're talking about before is like, you know, when we're creating, so you know, we're talking about Dave Chappelle and some of his jokes. So you know, some of them are like kind of, you know, impromptu, like what I would call like stream consciousness, and it just like happens like whatever. But like, some stuff is like constructed good jokes that are like solid and like last time, you know. And there's like a difference too when you're like posting. There's posts that are just like things that are happening right now, and then within a day they're like irrelevant, right? But there's things that are still like relevant, like still some of the stuff that I did from open mic night. Those are dope. Like you can still engage with them, and
that's still timeless.
Yeah, and I think that's not only just developing something unique in the card game, but for us as artists, those timeless things are what we need to like. Strive towards, and then now we have something where we could like solidify it, you know, in the NFT system, non-fungible, right? We if we have a good unique piece of work that we did, and we want to stamp that and say this is rare, this is ours, and it's unique. And later on, those are the things that are meaningful to you. Like things that I look back on, things that I use. Like there was recently this old picture, and I come from back in high school. I was taking computer science. And at this time, like we had a T1 connection at that time. It was crazy. You did like dial up. So like when we were at school, it was on. And we had good computers, and Napster was fucking Napster at that time. So like I come from the school of rip the whole world. So like I'm always like, oh, I like this, I'm keeping it. And I have like, all this stuff. So I kept this old picture of Bill, and he's like at Times Square, and then there's like that he has like this sign that says Portal or something, and he's with like some like street person, and then like I used it recently, and like I kept it for some reason. I never knew why I kept it, but then like now I used it like 5 years later, but like things like that. That's like how we develop these things that mean stuff to the community, things that mean stuff to us, and how we use it as artists and use it as people that create content on the site. I think I want to bring this back to you, Khaliq. Tell us a little bit more about like, you say you're doing this monthly show, and what are like the stumbling blocks for bringing some of this community here on Minds and like doing some stuff here?
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll introduce the show a little bit. So like it was kind of in its beta stages. Like I think the next episode coming up in April would be the 14th episode. So like the first 11 episodes, I kind of kept it within my community. So I was in
testing
this,
it out.
Yeah, testing it out and just getting the feel. Like in the beginning, it was just like something I was trying to help develop something inside of that community for the artists and things like that. And that's still kind of what it is on some level. And so the community that I'm talking about is autonomy. I got into this self-development, like, so it's like a self-development think tank type of community where we talk about like, ethical sales, affiliate marketing, copywriting, and all these things. And then you have like a really great community of like-minded, freedom-minded people. So I was in that community, and, there was a bunch of artists, and we were trying to figure out like, hey, what can we do to support each other? And then that's kind of where the show came about. Then it like developed into different things where like now I do kind of like a showcase of just all the art, comedy, animation, music, and just all the art within, like, I guess you could call it red pill art or rebel music, rebel art, things like that. So I do like a showcase of that type of thing, and just kind of become like a conduit and bring everything back. And a lot of the art, we'll put it out here, a lot of the art that I bring to the show comes from the Minds community.
Yeah.
Like I'll be surfing through the fucking, I'll be surfing through the feed and stuff, and I'll get stuff from there, and then I get stuff from other people, and I just kind of jumble it all up together, and I put it on, and then I put the show on, and then we kind of have like a little open mic, but I'm still trying to figure out how to switch up the layout, the outline, and things like that. But yeah, so now that I'm seeing what's going on with Minds, and how just really great culture, community for artists, I'm definitely interested in like bringing people over and just letting more people know about this community, because I was trying to kind of recreate the open mic space in a sense, and yeah, it's just like it's still missing that layer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So do you have a group for this?
Yeah, so I host like a Zoom. I still haven't really put it out. Like, so I don't do like live streaming.
Do you have a group on Minds for it?
I do not. No.
Yeah, you should definitely start a group on Minds for it, man.
Yeah, I'm definitely. You guys are inspiring me.
Our last show with Censorship Sucks, he does podcasts too. If you don't know him.
Oh yeah, Censorship. I know Censorship. Yeah.
So I was just talking to him our last episode, and I was telling him that a lot of people are starting to get on using the Mind Jitsies and doing these kind of little shows with each other or podcasts with each other. And I really want to start reaching out to these people that are starting to do this and get us like a monthly get together for all of them, so we can have one big show for everybody once a month or something. And so like we'll have him and we'll have me and Satori and then maybe you because you do a poem group and whoever else that does these kind of little shows in that show. We just gotta find enough people to throw that kind of thing. So
It reminds me of it's like the cross pollination. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with this show called how is it called? The Union of the Unwanted.
No.
So it's basically this guy, he brings on a whole bunch of alternative media people, like all the people in alt media, like they come together, they just fucking talk about solutions and problems and, just suggestions, feedbacks, all types of stuff, put out whatever new technology is coming out. That's kind of what it sounds like you're talking about. And it's cool, like all the alt people, they've been on that platform. And I don't know how many times they do it, but they all jump on there. It's like 20, 30 deep of them just talking about all types of stuff, different new software. The dude from Odyssey was there. I'm surprised Bill hasn't been on there, dude. Because they had like alt social media platforms. They had Odyssey dude there. They had the guy from Float there. They had the guy from Rockfin there. And I've been meaning to like hit up Bill and say like, hey man, you got to check out what's going on over here. Like they got all these social media platforms, and I haven't. Maybe he's been on there. I haven't seen him on there, but anyway, like it sounds like that's what you're trying to build. It sounds like a really smart thing to do.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing. You'll have to send me that too, man. Definitely.
Yeah, I got you.
I want to check that out.
I'm gonna write a few things.
Yeah. Thank you. But yeah, man, that sounds real interesting. But yeah, I really want to start getting to like I still the gamers are a big thing for me, of course, because I'm a gaming community, so I love talking about gaming and talking with gamers, and but I really want to start. And of course, SatoriD is our creative guy. You're on his creative side, so we do one creative and one gaming. But I really want to start getting into those more mashups and talking about just cooperating with other people that do these kind of shows and joining up with them, because I think that would be a lot of fun to really get their feedback and talk about their shows and what's been going on throughout the month with them, and just getting updates for everybody that watches all those different shows.
Yeah, man.
And I think this is the beginning to start to build not only the alternative media, but also having this alternative cross-pollination of communities, so that we could have like I remember a show recently. I said I don't think Minds needs to get that big, and I don't even think our things need to be that big to actually like work this system. You got to be smart about it and you got to do it right, but you keep on storing your tokens in the liquidity pool. You do steady pace of your work, and you have people that follow you, and you comment, and you like their stuff, and you have active community of a handful of people that are working together and commenting and having fun, and like that over time exponentially builds into this nice little capital that you have at the end. So then whatever that community is, like for me, I want to build to be able to create bigger and more interesting things like a movie and other things. Have more. I need more tools to expand my expression. But for everybody else, it's different. Like part of the community things. Eventually, I want to do the liquidity pool for like Imaginarium, and then at the end of the year, maybe these liquidity pools finance like us all getting together and having like this like real convention of like us exchanging ideas and being in the space, and then like producing that as like this unique thing that we do every year. Like, we have the finances for it. Like our work throughout the whole year builds up to this greater project, and then like we keep it going all the time. And going back to what you were saying, PA, and you were talking about open mic night, and there's two things that I did consciously and that I thought were important later on to give it like the jolt that I thought needed to create that atmosphere is one, I wanted to do the first poem, and so I went out there and I started off open mic night doing the poem. I thought it was important to get out there and, you know, I didn't want it to be like, oh, I don't know, somebody do it. And I was like, no, I'm going to do it. And like set the tone, like this is going to be dope. And this is the tone for open mic night. And then the second thing that I did is like later on, and at first I was like, oh, I'm going to just edit a few of them. But then like everybody was pretty good. And so I did a few, and I'm like, okay, like I felt bad, like I can't just do like half of them and like not do the other ones that people think I don't like the poetry. And so like I did all of them, and I just like fucking video edited for like nonstop for like 2 days, and like made all those cuts. And so I started like putting them out, you know, every day, and then like people were commenting it. So like it created this feedback, you know, like you went there and then you saw a video, and then you're like, oh. And then people were like talking in threads. So like they created this anticipation for the next week to show up and to actually do better, or like to like compete in a sense. Like, you know, I remember all the time. This is what always I would do. I would get ready, and usually I was like, oh, I'm gonna write a poem, and then I don't write a poem, and then I'm like, I'm gonna use an old poem, and I go in and I dig an old poem, and then just before like open mic, I get inspiration and I write something. And then I debate like what I'm going to share, and I probably share something, and then someone says something, and I'm like, oh, that's it, I'm going to share this other poem. And like, oh, forget that poem, I'm writing a new poem. Like one time during the open mic night, I wrote a whole new poem because of something someone said, and I was like, fuck that, I got to like change it. Like we got to go with this topic, you know. Whether it was like, you know, who was really good at that was, I'm blanking on his name, but what was it? A monolith. Pluto.
Pluto thing, yeah.
Dude, you know, that, like, your poem, the Odyssey, and, like, all of that, Mac, and, like, all that was dope, that one little, like, thread of found a letter in a monolith.
Dude. That happened many times, like, the threads that happen, and that's why I totally get what you're saying, Mindsgaming, in terms of, like, building this, you know, this kind of different colonies and bringing them together, because like the cohesion and the things that could come out from that, you could develop, you know, merchandise, you could develop, you know, NFTs, you could develop so much from that, and then delegate too, because that was the thing that I felt like I always felt some type of way. I always wanted to kind of help you more, Satori, because I felt like, you know, with the community we have, or like just for future, like we could delegate this stuff. Like it could be one person, it could be like one week somebody doing, you know, the editing, or someone bringing some graphics and like what you were kind of trying to develop before. And it could be something like that where many people we're helping each other, we're helping pump out content, you know, and it'll be like multiple people and we're all getting something from it. Like I do see a lot of value in creating something like that. That just makes so much sense. And if it's a lot of people kind of holding, you know, the weight of it, it doesn't become very overbearing, you know, like it probably was for you. I don't know how the hell you did all of that, dude. Like that was fucking wild.
You know, that's comes like the issue of you know, sustaining that stuff. But I think moving forward, this is what I think future developing on top of what we already have is. I could already envision a future where I set up I set up Imaginarium as the collective artist collective that I always wanted it to be, and that you do work, whether it's visual work or you do musical work or you write a poem or you do voiceover work for the video edits. We edit it together and you clock in. We figure out some ratio, some type of system, and then you kind of like clock in like, oh, I did 2 hours of voiceover work for this. I did this. And then it accumulates, and then like at the end of the month, you have a percentage of the shares of whatever is made in there. And then you could always take it out, but it's better if you keep it in there because then you're generating a percentage on like your token. So like what I'm talking about is, it's hard. You get 100 tokens for your work, but adding it in that liquidity pool and keeping it there, that $100 turns into $200, and then collectively you have $1,000, and now you're really generating tokens.
And it's content as well. Like it's content.
So everybody, and this I don't want. I'm talking about automating the system so that like no one's really in control, but it's fair for everybody, and it's just a matter of like the work that you put into it. But that's like future down the road. Like I think what's really important what first lit my mind on fire when I started really getting into blockchain and like the more philosophy of it and the automated governance and like all these different weird little projects that I liked in the beginning. And it was basically automating managers and like these politicians. Like, it's just a way, like you set up the rules of like how you want to work and what is fair. And then like it's set into code so that as I always would say this early on with like Ghost Spiders, like I want proof of creativity, proof of work, like not that, that's like a thing on the blockchain, but like between us, like the reason why people early on in Minds Panel and even in Imaginarium always look to me or like I seem like I was in charge is because I put in the most work, because like you could see like what I did. Like I didn't have to say that I was in charge. Like the stuff that I produced like made people like listen to me, like made people want to like do stuff with me. Yeah. Like my work was the proof of like my idea was good or like why people wanted to work with me.
I think that's the way it works for most people on the network. Like you gain a mutual respect between you and the people who watch you with what you build and what you're working on, and what you're actually doing. I don't ever have to say I'm in charge here.
See, that's where we could like quantify that on the back end, and like so like this happens naturally, right? You build social currency by how you interact with people and how you build your relationships over time. Like I've been talking to PA over time of just checking in with him, of supporting his work every now and then. We dip in and out of each other's creative streams. And I built this credibility with him, this socially, and this is how just things work. But now, this is what we could do on the back end is like quantify that and like what's the real value of your content, what's the real value of your work, and start to like really make that work for us. And because what's happening on other networks and what's the really bad thing and what has always happened is that they are capitalizing on your work. You're the product on all these other ones. Right. I remember I got kind of blocked and like put in timeout on Facebook when I was promoting this show about I think it was called the Thailand 6 or 7 or whatever. Like Facebook did something with the private messages and sent it to the government, and like 7 people went to jail, and like all these people got pissed in Thailand. It was like crazy, and like a lot of people went in for Minds, and I interviewed this activist. This is the Minds Panel show, and so I was promoting the show in the Minds in Facebook's groups, and I said Facebooks are digital traffickers. They'll sell your digital identity to the highest bidder. And like that's how I promoted the show, and then like all of a sudden I was like timed out from groups and shit like that.
Wow,
that was like 5 years ago. But that's what they do.
That's exactly what they do. 100%.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and now it's coming out to light. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now more people are understanding that shit.
Yeah. I think people knew that they were selling information. They just didn't know how deep that information really went.
Yeah.
It's also the convenience and the convenience of Facebook just made people turn a blind eye. It's just like Messenger. Mm-hmm. I talked to grandma overseas with Messenger. Like, leave me alone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But listen, guys.
Yeah, we gotta get going.
Yeah, I'm gonna have, but I got a gift for you guys.
Oh, okay,
I've been
cool.
waiting. I've been waiting for this day, and before
Right
I bounce, I got this poem that I wrote. That I made a video, so you might see some of your elements. I've been very much inspired by you, Satori. But coming on the show, I was like, man, I want to bring something to them. I haven't premiered this yet, so I figured why not premiere it here, with you guys and for the community. You know what I'm saying? So do I have sharing capabilities? Can I share it?
Yeah. You can share your screen on the bottom. There's a little screen that has an arrow.
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna share this poem. It's called if that's cool, you guys.
Yeah, go for it.
So
Yeah, definitely.
It's called Soul Quest, and this is I told you, Satori, that I did just came from 2 weeks ago. I did an ayahuasca trip, and this poem kind of came out of that whole experience. So it's called Soul Quest, and I'm sharing with you guys. And yeah, it's premiering here, guys. This is for you guys, for real. So let's get this. Enough talking. Let me put this up. Give me a second. All right. Application video. Right. Screen sharing failed. Yeah, Jitsi does that sometimes. It's like acts funny. Try it again. That's if it lets me. I don't know if it's gonna let me. Let's see. Nah, it's not letting me. It's saying screen sharing failed. Why did it fail? I'm using Brave. Do you guys have do you have any problems sharing on? You guys use Brave browser?
I have Brave, but I use Firefox. Yeah, I think Jitsi works better on Firefox.
I just deleted my Firefox too.
As a general rule, that's what I.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know if it's gonna let me. Shit.
But for everyone out there, Brave is a great web browser, and everybody should.
Yeah, I just switched to it. Yeah, guys, it's not letting me. Holy shit, that sucks. That really sucks. I could read it out to you guys. Yeah, I mean, that breaks my heart though, because well, you know what? I wanted to just premiere it here because I wasn't even gonna upload it anywhere else. I was just gonna premiere it here and wait to upload it. But I'll read the poem. Let me see if it comes up. I'll read the poem. Here we go. Where you at? Soul Quest. Here we go. All right. So it's called Soul Quest. No, it's not. Okay. So it goes. At the equinox of my paradox, I am suited up and prepared to undock, prepared to unlock a new level in my journey through perception. Yesterday a civilian, today an astronaut, I am bound in spot to receive the crop, the download. On this voyage I seek the infinite intelligence that floats about undetected through respect and utmost attention. The earthship where many have connected. No wires necessary or wireless reception, where synergy picks up the misconnection. No calls drop from misconceptions. Everything is randomly intercepted. The soul quest is the medicine, the timeless rendezvous with source in all its nodes. The vortex holds all the codes, remembering our animal spirit, an owl that's so coherent. Nothing is new except arrangements. This I learned from life's arrangements. Take this time capsule and swallow it for remembrance, the ancestral transcendence. That's the piece right there, gentlemen.
Nice, man. Loved it. It's good stuff, man. Yeah, you got to get that posted, dude. You got to get it posted.
Yeah. Dude, I wanted to premiere it here, and
awesome.
It's all good. It's all good.
We appreciate that for sure, definitely, man. And before you head out, if you gotta head out, you gotta give us a shout out, man. You gotta give us a shout out. One channel other than me and Satori that you want to shout out and let them know, show your love for.
A shout out on Minds?
Yeah, they got to be on Minds.
What channel can I shout out? Jeez, I'm not really active like that, but I guess I'll shout out Censorship, man. He's been showing so much freaking love to the art scene. Like, yeah, that's an easy one, actually. I'm going to shout out Censorship Sucks, man. He's the freaking man. He's been doing a lot. So, yeah, censorship. What up?
That's funny. Fun fact for everyone out there. Fun fact for censorship. Censorship showed up at open mic. He didn't really read any poetry, but he was there, and he was always so great with his comments.
He was co-host.
Yeah, he. And it was just funny. Like he was another one that like brought like a dynamic to the open mic that was cool. And I think after like that experience, he went on and like created his show. Interviewed online.
Yeah, that's true.
And for YouTube, PA, look into Josh Who TV. They do streaming, so if you're like want to do your streaming of your thing, that's like a place to do it. Speaking of alternative stuff, that's another thing. Mindsgaming project of his is getting a integration of some live streaming capabilities here on Minds.
I put that in before the non-fundable tokens. So the NFTs are after the streaming in my list of importance.
Okay, I got you. That makes sense. Yeah, no, I'm gonna check that out. Thank you. Yeah, and for sure. Yeah, I gotta shout out censorship.
We actually used their we recommended their open source software to integrate into there. So hopefully.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So look into that. I hope, but we'll see.
You hear that, Bill? We already. This is like the suggestion box show right here.
The suggestion box. Well, it ends as a suggestion box. It starts out as all the things that are wrong.
I know we did. I think it was the second show we started off. It was like 20 minutes of Mindsgaming complaining. What was it? What happened?
Yeah. It was me complaining about boost for 20 minutes.
Oh yeah. Boost. Yeah.
Did you guys fix the problem? If you did, you guys got to get credit right here. This is the show. This is the show, Mindsgaming show, where problems get solved. I like it. And with that, I got to sign off, gentlemen.
Hey, bring your community here on Minds. Like, start up that group. Let us know. And like Mindsgaming is like the perfect person to help you start up a group.
I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you what. Like, I already know we have some community.
If you want to use our writing corner, they already have people in there. I can promote you to an admin because we need a new admin, and then you can use the Jitsies in there. And there's already like a little base, and then you can grow from there and bring people over. Whatever you want to do, man.
Yeah, no. Now that you mention that, like, I'm really interested. Like, I already know there's stuff that's already built. Like, I don't have to build the wheel here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, SatoriD's here, Mac is here. Like, I'm interested in helping support what is already here. I could bring another dimension to it.
Just like let's end it with this is going forward, which is not only that we talk about Minds, but like what we like to do is also like try to build stuff on the community and bring real things that happen on Minds. But for your part of like what you could do moving forward is like Mindsgaming. His groups are pretty legendary on Minds. Like I use 420 Time, I use Meme Wars. Like all these groups. This is what Mindsgaming has started, and to have a real good group, you need people to be active there, people to really like help cultivate that group, which is always hard. When people want to build a community and a group and start something. Getting a few people to like really focus in and building up a group, posting there, interacting with people, commenting, and all that kind of stuff. Doing that consistently helps make that group into a live group and not just a group where you're posting, kind of mindlessly. So, we already have groups like Imaginarium, Mindsgaming has groups, and you're always welcome to post in there, but you reach out to us and we'll help you and get you going for sure.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing what how I could collaborate, merge in there. But like I said, the wheel is already built. I mean, like I'm not necessarily interested at this moment in like maybe adding some tweaks to the wheel. I'm more interested in like helping out.
I think, yeah, get back in, get back in here, and then as things start going for you, your own channel, and then you build your own group and your community, and see if they want to come over. Like if they're not coming over, then like why have that group? But there's like the writing corner. There's open mic. I haven't talked to Mac, and he wanted to start doing the open mics on Thursday. But I don't know what happened. He didn't do it that first time, and then. But yeah, I'll reach out to Mac and see what's up, and if he needs help with that, I'll let you know.
Yeah, I'd like to co-host. I'd like to help out with that, whatever.
Because that's actually what we need on Minds is more different things, like things happening. Poetry, gaming, art. To have a better growth of the community. But that's a good way to end it. Good to see you. Thanks.
All right,
thank you. It was a pleasure, guys. All right. Yes, thank you, guys.
He's acting crazy back there, man. He just flipped over this huge monster chair. It's like it's bigger than I am. All right, it's bigger than I am. It's like an inflatable chair. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway. You guys have a good one.